Hi, I'm just going to do a general reading for everyone. It's not going to have, I'm not going to reference astrological signs. And yeah. If you want to put a question in the chat box, I can answer that at some point during the reading, depending on how many questions are put up, I guess. I guess first come, first serve. I hope everybody's doing well. And okay, I'm just gonna tune into the energies and shuffle for a bit on a few different decks. Right now I'm shuffling that Hermetic Tarot deck. It's a cool deck. And okay, this one. Just to let you know, in case this is your first time to my channel, I'm a distance healer and psychic, and I've been doing this work since 2003, and you can look at my website for any more information on that. You can also contact me over email and ask me questions. You can read my testimonials and find out like how people experience my healing sessions. I like to do everything I can in one session for the person so that they don't have to come back. And some people are cool with that, and then some people come back seasonally to tune up and to like raise their spiritual abilities and health and emotions and everything like that. It's really like depends on your goals, depends on your level of interest in spirituality. Like some people just want you to fix something for them and then they carry on with their lives, and then other people get their interest sparked in increasing their spiritual abilities or their psychic ability. I have been able to open up psychic ability of clients of mine, and they enjoy that very much because it allows you to navigate your life in a relaxed manner with confidence and to help people you know too, because you just become like the person who has great advice. Okay. I got maybe 5 more minutes of shuffling. Wait a sec. The energy feels like loving and also argumentative today. So I'm curious if that comes up in the reading later. Come on. And oops. Try to hustle through this. It's Monday. So yeah, try to start the beginning of the week with like opening up the energy for miracle energy to come in for you and the people you care about. So that Monday becomes something you look forward to. It's like a week full of like wonderful surprises and messages. And it's like a treasure hunt that you're embarking on for the week. And you don't have to assume you know everything about everybody and whatever. And it's like you're allowing the universe to sort of reveal itself to you this week, and to engage with it when you get those signals and synchronicities and stuff. It's fun. Like, it's fun to when you feel connected. It's fun to go through life because you feel like you have like an invisible friend, I guess you could say. And so make sure to take part in that, because it's like a wonderful, important part of life. Okay. And then was that crazy deck? Just 1 second. Where's the deck? Okay, I don't know where my Trove Sexual Magic. Oh, here it is. Oh my gosh. Okay. I need a bigger desk. This desk is like around 12-inch, like a little glass table, and I can only use half of it, so I should probably set up somewhere else. Okay, this card wants to come out, and okay, we're almost there. Crystal Wisdom. This guy wants to come out too. Yeah, so feel free to chat in the comment box or leave a question. It's nice to get your feedback during the reading. Also, if you enjoy anything about the video, like, you can press like or subscribe. It helps me a lot if you press subscribe, because then if I reach 1,000 or more, I can get some revenue from YouTube. Sorry. Like, I guess like the energy too is like I was saying, it was like loving but argumentative, but I also feel like it's difficult to speak. It's been like that way for about a week, where speech feels like maybe the masculine is like has a lot of things to say, but like is really fighting it, or is really not used to opening up. So it's not like they're on purpose not communicating. It's like maybe they've never really used their voice in that way, so it's just totally new to them, and they don't know how to articulate. Like, they just don't know what to say, and they wouldn't know where to start. Nonetheless, like, the energy is really strong, and so it could almost make them feel like emotional or like crying. That when you like hold back like the Hoover Dam, all your emotions, it's stressful. Okay, and at some point like the dam breaks. But if you can like gently ease yourself into communicating by just saying, like, practicing complimenting the other person, or saying a little something, just like taking it in stages, maybe that'll make it easier. Okay, so we have this card again. So we're still being encouraged to make the right choice in terms of like who we surround ourselves with. Because we kind of have to be the boss of our lives and just say, like, okay, like, let's clear the deck. Like, this is where, this is who's allowed in. It's like the rule maker kind of person. That's the role that you have to play. And I feel like today, when I see all these like little color lines underneath, it feels just like lots and lots of people. So you're just kind of saying, like, I'm important to me right now. I need to really be mindful of my energy, who I let in, who I listen to. I need to make the right choice, because when you make the wrong choice, you lose a lot of time. You lose like productivity. Your emotions can get the best of you, and then you like lose sleep, or you're getting off your like plan of like, let's say, getting healthier or whatever it might be, yeah, it can really like kneecap you if you don't make the right choice in terms of like, yeah, who to let in, who you allow to advise you or whatever. And maybe you're okay with just not listening to people in terms of your focus and where you want to take your life right now. You're in the world, you're connected with people, but you're kind of like your consciousness is hovering above sort of the mass of people and into an individual energy that you're really embracing, and you're connecting with source. So it's like brightening you up, and it's giving you clarity, and you're not like being like a sheep or you might be like acting in a stronger, more clear way than ever before, and people might be like noticing and not feeling a part of it, and that can trigger different emotions in people, like resentment or jealousy or separateness, like the illusion of separateness. And so you might get some flack for standing out like this, but it's like, what's the alternative? Just being like acting small and being like one of many, that's not like a really fun way to live, right? And not like shining in your brilliance. So yeah, so like today, still the energy of like make the right choice. Then we have divine discontent. I don't think I've ever pulled this card before, so I'm just gonna have a look at what they wrote about that for a hot second. All right. Winter falls upon us, so spring can bring new growth. Cry the tears, allow the longing. Sadness brings surrender and a deep desire to be free. All right. Yeah, so like things, all things must pass. Some things have to die out or be like, in their case, they're comparing it to winter, where it's like everything is being smothered by a crystal blanket for, if you live in Canada, for half the year. It's like something I have been dealing with for the last half century. So yeah, and when you're disconnected from or taking pause from something that you enjoy, like good weather, or like somebody or some situation, like whether it's a creative activity that you're involved in or whatever, that separateness, that longing and missing that situation or that person creates like appreciation, because it's easy to take things for granted. I really feel a sneeze coming on like big time, but it might pass. Yeah, so don't fight the feeling. Sorry, it's like I'm quoting like too many songs, but yeah, it's okay to cry. It's okay to miss something, because then you're feeling like, what is that connection I have with that thing, and like, what is it in me that triggers pain because of something that I love, or is the pain because like I'm self-sabotaging? Am I the reason why I'm not like engaging with that energy? Is it because I have like a series of filters of anger, resentment, like unforgiveness? Like, you really have to unpack like your side of that tug of war rope and go like, how am I contributing to this separateness and this kind of winter, internal winter? And is it possible you can like thaw some of your like, staying with the metaphor, some of your beliefs, so that you can like go with the flow and like be like water? Sorry. And adapt to the present moment. Okay, so that you're not feeling that separateness, because we can't always blame everything on everyone else. Like, in order to really up level your life, you have to, like, as the oracle at Delphi said, like, know thyself. That's your greatest power, knowing your strengths and your weaknesses, your habits. It's kind of like playing chess, like, against yourself, where you have to think a few moves ahead and kind of go like, okay, like, I know the habits of this creature, and I can predict, if you can predict like where you might trip, then you can like avoid a situation or like go around it and really like focus on your strengths, and ask for help and assistance, like for the things that you're not capable of doing at the moment. And then that eliminates the fear element so that you can like proceed through any challenge. And I don't mean challenge in terms of like, oh, it's such a pain in the butt. It's just like something you have to do, something that is like a new energy that interrupts like the general flow. And then you can just have confidence that you can approach it and engage with it in a fearless manner, and sort of like a doctor figure out, okay, like, how can I be effective? What help do I need? Just kind of assess the situation so that you can proceed calmly through it. Like, it's just a different approach than freaking out, you know. So I don't know why I keep taking off my glasses, because I actually need to see. So I'll let you look at the card for a second. All right. So I feel like, because of the internet and like social media and, dating sites and whatever, people are kind of like aware of you in different ways. Like, some people actually met you and they're feeling kind of small because like the interaction didn't go perfectly. And then there's other people where you like, I see that in like this area. And in this area, I feel like you kind of loom large in people's imaginations because they haven't met you in person. You're kind of like one of many people they're curious about, but it's really undefined, but you're like big in their mind, in their emotions. And they see like you have potential to move towards this kind of like white mountain of success. They see that you and like some other people are moving towards success, and they're like not sure how to join you in that, or like, like until you meet, like it's not really like an option to take that trip with you. So there's something about like communicating more, like if, let's say, you live in different places, or you're in quarantine, you live in the same city, whatever, like video chat more, whatever it is, to like to give life and definition to who you are, so that it's easier for them to go like, okay, maybe I do want to move forward with them. But I feel like because there's a sort of blurry curtain, maybe the relationship for the time is like a bit undefined. So you don't have to be like, what are we doing? Like, what does it mean that we're like flirting or talking? Like, just let it be a bit undefined, and like understand like, what are your common goals? Do you both want to walk towards this white mountain or not? Or do you just want to like hang out here and have like mini experiences with people that are like varying degrees of like satisfying and so that never really go anywhere? So it's like they know they have these two options of just sort of running around, or actually living a life consciously and making like a big time choice, because they see that you're doing that. You have the focus and the intention to make your life as awesome as it can be. And they're like, oh, like that's the thing. Like maybe they were thinking too small before, and they didn't even realize like you could have like a really beautiful life with someone that they care about that's like important in their mind. So it's kind of like newsflash, maybe first time somebody really like fell in love or like, and they have like fear about it. And they're like, I don't want this person to have so much impact in my life and in my heart and mind. So I want to push them away, but then like they don't really disappear from their consciousness. And, it's like this period of information gathering where you need to just be calm and like just let them get to know you more in a calm way without pressure, without defining the relationship, and within your boundaries so that you're not overgiving. All right. Yeah, so then we have let love transform. Okay, I'll let you look at this for like one more second. I'm gonna look at it's pretty clear what this card means, but I'm just gonna look at the definition because I haven't pulled this one before either. All right. The spring of love arrives to transform the dust into a garden. The call is heard from the heavens to bid the wings of soul to fly. The sea becomes filled with pearls. The dry land receives the water of life. The stone becomes a ruby, and the body becomes all soul. I don't know. Okay, like, I feel like I need to sit down with Remy just to like, I don't know, like maybe it's just the translation. I don't know, but okay. Let's just try not to be too critical right now. All right. Anyway, okay, so it's like things have manifested for you right now. You've actually gotten to the point where you're letting love into your life, and it's like making things happen, and it's making your life like obviously more beautiful. There's more activity going on, and it's coloring like all aspects of your life. Yeah, because you've made this like gesture, like let's say this is a human figure here, and you've sort of made this fuzzy sort of soul gesture instead of like from your intellect to say like, yes, like I open myself to this part of me, like I allow my heart to have, like I accept that it has its own brain kind of and its own desires to create and things like that. So like I'm allowing that to like even be a thing, whereas before you might not have, and you might have felt like small and incapable of creating beautiful things in your life or having the awesome experiences you wish for. So that was keeping you small, being like too much in your intellect, too much in the 3D. And so now you've opened this other part of you up, and it's like flooding your life with beautiful opportunities and like different way, more sensitive, loving way of receiving from the universe. That's really nice. Yeah. And like, sure, there's some areas that could still use some progress, but the majority of the picture is like really positive. So don't focus on the negative. And eventually, like, the good will eclipse the bad. Or you'll have a different perspective on the bad where it doesn't threaten you anymore because you have this strong connection and it gives you so much faith and strength that it's like, I'm just living my life being awesome. All right, so then we'll get into these other cards. We have the Tower and the Eight of Cups. Wow. So that's like, if you had a relationship that you had been working on for a long time, maybe like cycling back to exes or, you had a pattern of behavior that was like very rigid. And you were like, this is who I am. Like, and let's say you're in the masculine, you're like, I'm a single man, like, or like masculine energy. Um, and this is just my life and that's how it's going to be. And I don't want to like have certain experiences like strong connection or marriage or anything like that. Those things are being like blasted to bits right now, those ideas, and whatever kind of like false construction you'd made for yourself is just the universe is like, bye-bye, like smashing that to bits. And it doesn't feel good to have all your effort, your long-term effort that you put into it, like fail. But you're realizing that it was a pretty dry experience being either like a player or not being focused. Because it's not really about like, I don't want to give someone in my life so much power. It's like, that focus and that intention of love like serves you too. Like you respect your heart enough that you don't want to like spread yourself thin. And then you don't have to have like necessarily someone exact in your mind when you're trying to reformulate how you want to act. But you want like the general idea of like, I respect my heart. I don't want to spread my life too thin among like a zillion people because it's not productive. I'm not really growing anything. Everything's always just like at the seedling stage with a bunch of people. And I actually want to have like grow the mighty oak like for myself. So that I feel a sense of stability and calm and strength and stuff. So just like running around like a night shift nurse trying to like help everybody feel good and satisfy your needs and like little mini experiences, stuff. So I just feel like that time of like indulging in like too many people romantically, you just have to walk away from, because it's like, this isn't serving me. This busyness is not how I want to live. And like, it's kind of come to an end, and I don't feel like I can like live this way. I can't live in this structure. So the structure is being like blasted by the universe for your sake. So people, so heads are gonna roll. Like there might be people you no longer communicate with who are like, why aren't you flirting with me anymore? What happened? Like, it's like, well, I just want to refocus, and nothing against you, but like I have my life to live, and my, you don't have to really get into it too hard with people. It's just let them know that you're in a new direction. It's not necessarily someone else replace them, but your need to be good to yourself is the person like you left them for, I guess. And you just have faith that like there's over 7 billion people in the world now. It's like, I think you're gonna find someone else. Don't worry about it. Like, you don't have to say that, but like you can know that comfortably. Like there's so many cool people in the world. Like, and with the internet, it's super easy to meet people more than ever. So breaking up with someone, especially like someone that you've only like been kind of dabbling with, and then there were other people too, like, you know what I mean? Like, what are they really missing out on? You were giving them crumbs, so it's like, what are they really missing out on? Like, it's for their best interest to find someone who's more focused on them being like the perfect partner. So, okay. So then we have Fairy Stone, Good Fortune. I'm open to receive all the goodness the universe has to offer me at all times and in all ways. Yeah, so like part of our job is reminding ourselves that like we're not alone. We're multidimensional. We like live in a spiritual world that has a physical element to it. Like if you think of one of those like really tall condos in like Dubai or something like that, that's sort of like your body, and like the first, like the lobby is like this human body, and then all the other condos up to the penthouse are the other levels of you that are simultaneously living and having different kind of lighter frequency experiences that are like circulating like down to your human life, you know. And it's our job to like remain aware that we have this that's what we are, like truly. That's why you can have thoughts, emotions, dreams, like those are all like lighter frequencies that are non-physical, like, so it's like they're not all just a load of BS. Like the reason why that exists is because it's real. It's like it's that simple. So if we're in touch with this kind of like lighter vibration stuff, like some people say that fairies exist and they're just like one step lighter than people, so they have like people like personalities and they can be in bad moods, like they're not quite in the level of like unconditional love. They can be crabby like us, or stuff like that. So, and just know that it's the fairy stone is reminding you like you have spiritual help of different levels of consciousness, and like, you know, it's valid to ask for fairy assistance if you feel connected with that, but just know that, you know, you do have, like, even if you can't see it today right now around you, the good fortune, like it exists in the universe. Good fortune, you see other people receive it all the time, it's there for you too. But you have to be open to receive all the goodness the universe has to offer you at all times and in all ways. So you can't criticize like how it might, you know, your abundance might come to you in a surprising way. You know, in my case recently, you know, someone apologized to me after decades of a really difficult type of interaction, and then that person showed like incredible grace and, you know, compassion, and, you know, like really not from an expected source, you know, this type of thing. So that's why you can't criticize in which way and at what time this abundance and good fortune comes to you. You just have to be open to it. I'm open to receive in a super general fashion, like all the goodness the universe has to offer me at all times and in all ways. So like, you don't have to like be hyper specific about like the exact thing that you want to pull into your life. You can be aware of like different good ways that exist, but you just, the openness is the number one most important activity for you to do, instead of like laser focusing on one specific thing. Because like if you're focused on one person or one way to receive abundance, then you're blocking all the zillions of other ways and other people that could come in that are potentially like better for you, more fun. Like, so just the being open to receive is more important. And I guess like the fairies in this case, the fairy stone is like the fairy stone is like a, can you call it a crystal? Maybe. Is there to support good fortune and connection with fairies as like a sort of friendship bracelet, I guess, like type of thing. It's like this relationship could exist if you acknowledge it, if you're open to receiving from it, I guess that's what I'm saying. Okay. Right. Then, okay, we got a few cards. I'm just gonna do some of these like not tarot cards for a second. All right. Feeling good indicates your connection to clarity, wellness, and abundance in all good things. Feeling good is your most natural core belief. Yeah, so being open to good things and abundance, and just deciding like my main thing, my main vibe is feeling good. Like that's where I direct my decisions. Like, does it make me feel good to do this? And I don't mean like the feel good in terms of like temporary satisfaction that has like a negative impact on you, if, in the long run. So really like decide, if you were to imagine your most functioning, successful version of yourself that's receiving like the best gifts that you want, like what would that person do? Like what can I do to like focus on the good that I want to receive and the person I want to become? Because in the end, that will make me feel good. And you're going to be selfish enough in your life to make those choices that align with that life that you want to have. So, yeah, like some people would call you out for wanting to enjoy your life and making decisions based on that. But you have to, in this card, like you're being encouraged to be selfish enough to want to feel good. It's just like you live with certain principles. It's like, I want to feel good. I want to be loved. I want to be open to abundance, and however the universe wants to show that to me. Like just like that's your basic baseline activity. And then like whatever fits into that in life, like will work for you, kind of thing. So that card's encouraging you to be like selfish, or like think of yourself. Because if you're just running yourself ragged, then you're just going to be a pain in the butt for yourself and everybody else. So you don't want to do that. Okay, priorities. We were just talking about that. So priorities can be like this kind of energy of like, hold up, like this isn't, I don't want to do that. That's not one of my priorities. So if somebody like is like breadcrumbing you or being, mean or whatever, you can just be like, okay, stop this moment. You know how like life just kind of, it's easy just to walk by people that interest you, or like situation should interact with people or help someone, and you're just like in that flow, and it's like hard to interrupt that narrative of like, this is my like narrative and I'm just living this thing, and whatever that person's doing is like not in my story, but it is in your story. And sometimes you do have to like stop walking. Sometimes you do have to like stop and talk to somebody or ask them something or whatever, and just go like, hold up, like, okay, it's my priority to be nice to people that interest me, and so I'm going to stop walking and do that. It's my priority to make new friends, or it's my priority to like stand up for myself and say like, I'm important, my dignity and self-respect and respect from others is important. It's my priority. Like it's up to you to be like the arbiter in that case, the king or queen of your life, because no one's going to do that for you if you're above the age of 3, so I would get on that habit. And then we have teacher. So you're at the point, you're either like ready to learn something of value, or you've learned something of value that you're ready to like pass on to other people because you found it worked for you and it created some kind of abundance or insight that is valuable. It's kind of like the Holy Grail or something, like people search the world for it, but it's probably like something that just exists inside of us that we're like ignoring. So it's not about like buying an open ticket around the world for a year and going like, okay, I'm gonna find it. It's like 2 minutes of meditation and you can find this kind of like golden chalice. Sorry, I'm laughing because like chalice in Quebec is like a swear word, but within yourself. So yeah. So it's like either you're ready to be taught, and when Okay, whether you're a teacher or student, like, it's still learning. Like, I find that when I have clients, maybe I have a certain amount of knowledge and expertise, but each person is so different, and, I learned so much from them during the session too, that it's really like we're equals, but we're just playing different roles for the purposes of that interaction. So you don't have to be all like weird about learning at this stage, and you don't have to be weird about being the teacher, because like it's still an exchange, and don't get hung up on the hierarchy thing. But I think the point is also with this depiction that like you realize there's this kind of gold inside of you, this vessel of love inside of you that you can offer someone, and that's really beautiful. It's not like you're giving it away, you're demonstrating like I have this reservoir of positive feeling inside of me. Look at that kind of thing, and that is something nice to engage with. And also because the third eye is shining, it's like I've awoken in my awareness. And also because like the throat chakra is shining, it's like I can speak this truth. So maybe you're telling someone like, I have feelings for you, I have love to give, I'm expressing that, and I feel intuitively guided towards doing this. And that's a powerful, meaningful, sort of timeless energy. That's really, really nice, actually. I'm just gonna like, yeah, so that kind of goes well with these two cards of like the Tower and the Eight of Cups, where you're leaving behind like relationships that didn't serve you. Maybe you were talking to like a whole bunch of people and this was your lifestyle, and that's over now, because now you're like, guess what? I really like understand my heart now, and I'm sitting in that strength, and I kind of know where to go forward. It might be unconventional in terms of like the types of people you were used to dating. You feel intuitively drawn to this person. There's a sort of right feeling about it, and you feel like you're part of like a spiritual team by moving forward and expressing this kind of love offering to them. And by being in this position, it's actually like upgrading you in a way to be like this kind of vibe, which is like pretty cool. Because to be in the masculine energy and strong and confident in your heart, that's pretty awesome. Like, it's one thing to be just like straight up masculine and then not have the feminine side of them developed, like the receiving, loving, nurturing part. But it's like if they're masculine and they have like this heart to give, like that's just like really like quite remarkable and nice energy. And the only way they're going to get that way is saying like, if people rush to them saying like, oh, I want to be with you, like, what did we have? Like all these people going like, I love you, I love you. And they're just like, hold up. Like, nope, I just want something perfect. I want a perfect union. And this is my priority now. Okay. So you're kind of like, just stop it with the DMs. Like, I'm focusing on like joining the masculine and feminine and perfection together to create this 3D kind of Star of David thing, where like the upside down and like the right side up masculine, like sorry I think it's the right side up is the masculine and the downward one may be the feminine, I'm not sure. But when the two triangles, pyramids or whatever, join, that's like a perfect union of masculine and feminine. So either either you've decided to like join these within yourself and you're just feeling awesome for doing that, and then and in some cases that energy is like attracting like the perfect relationship to you because you did that work, which is really like beautiful. Gives a comment. Hi. Just thinking. Well, I don't know if I'm like new on YouTube, but like I've come and gone. I've been doing like daily readings for like a month now, I guess. Yeah, nice to meet you. Sorry, like what? Oh, thanks. Yeah, that deck is the Ascended Masters by Doreen Virtue, I think. Yeah. So then we have the Golden Tarot. So we have the Empress. Okay. Then we have the Nine of Wands, the King of Swords, and who's this guy? I think he's the Hierophant. Okay, so I'm just gonna I'll let you look at this for a second so you can see what you feel. Yeah, so the masculine energy might be a bit sharp right now and it could potentially like scare you off, but I feel like I was feeling yesterday, just the mere presence that he's back and maybe super awkward with his messages and like a little too rough around the edges. Like, don't stress on that too much. Like, he's a work in progress, but he showed up, and just don't, just don't allow yourself to get bitten. Like, you can like say like, I have boundaries for how people talk to me, but I'm like still open to talking to you, kind of thing. But you can stand in your power and say like, I really want something perfect and fair and balanced with masculine and feminine energies. So it's like happy to talk to you, but like you're not letting like their harshness kind of get to you because you're like, you've developed this kind of perfect world for yourself. Yeah, so just heads up, like there can be some maybe harsh words, but like because I was saying like from the beginning of the reading, I felt like there was this really awkward, stifled thing around the throat chakra where the masculine like is having difficulty expressing what's in their heart, and there's so much information there. It's like the Hoover Dam, and it's just like building up, and so they might say something that's like awkwardly strong, but that doesn't mean like they don't care about you and stuff. Okay. That's good. Well, it's nice to meet you. Thanks for watching. Okay, and then we have I think this is the wait. I just want to make like double sure. I don't want to like lead you guys astray with that. Anyway, we have like a divine kind of couple going on here, and it's like even more echoing this kind of perfect relationship, but it comes with this sort of mini challenge where you have to like, because like the masculine energy is going to be pissed off right now because they just went through the tower and they had to clear the deck of all these like other relationships and walk away from something they spent like a really long time developing, like this persona that just got smashed recently because they had like intuitive guidance to do something else. And it's like hard to go through those transformations. And like I was saying in this card before, like they didn't even realize they could have this like bigger love, and it's like really kind of scary to them. But once they shed light on this and see who the figure is like in reality, get to know them either through like in-person interaction or video chatting, whatever, just to kind of calmly, in an undefined, like you're not saying what your relationship is necessarily, you're just meeting each other and shedding more light on the situation, so that this activity of like looming large in their life like is no longer scary to them. They're like, okay, I guess we are headed towards the same place, so we can walk together, instead of busying your life with like too many like tiny relationships that aren't serving you. Yeah, so it's like really strong to have like Emperor and the Empress sitting together. Okay. And it could, if it's Hierophant energy, then it's like they are actually looking to make like a serious commitment. Okay. And then we have the Nine of Wands. So it's like the illusion of like being, you're just like letting everybody's like passions like and motivations like get to you and make you feel trapped. But you're able to just go like, that's nice you feel that way, and goodbye. Like, because there's this like hesitation to walk away from like what you were kind of addicted to doing, which was like nurturing all these different relationships and indulging in all these different passions of other people towards you. But in the end, it just built a prison where you felt like you couldn't walk forward and just be yourself. So that's maybe what drove the masculine energy to just go like, screw this, I'm out. I'm walking away from all these things that I spent like so much time indulging in. Yeah, oh my God. Yeah, so we have the Emperor twice. Like we had it here. That's incredible. Okay, where are my cards? Yeah, so we had the Emperor and the Empress already. Oh my gosh, right? And then we have him again. So he's really showing up in his full strength. Sure, he might be like a bit bitchy, overly like, okay, like with his expression, but it's like double, like I'm showing up as a mature masculine because I recognize that my perfect match, is here. And it requires, some patience around like speaking to them and not being freaked out that they're like, who are you? Like they're suspicious of you, like right now. And it just is a matter of like gently allowing them to get to know you in a non-stressful environment, letting them observe you, see more of you in some way. So then they'll feel less defensive and they'll be less sharp with you because they'll realize like you're not a threat. You're both walking towards this like shining mountain, and it's okay to loom large in their life, but they have to like experience you and have you not appear like this dark figure who's like too big in their imagination. Yeah, so it requires patience on your side to allow them that time and to not like be triggered by some sharp words and to not need like immediate gratification, because where did the immediate gratification get you last time? It just ended up like blowing up in your face and it wasn't that satisfying. So like it's really cool that the masculine energy is developed enough that they want to have this like something real in their life. And they took a freaking long time to like come forward and offer that to you, but like here they are. And it might seem like a small offer, but it's like they're here. Like there's a difference between like them just being out of your life and them showing up at all, regardless of what they say. It's huge that they came back into your sphere, and they have an offer that they thought about and they created. So you can't be like, too critical of that. Even if they made this offer and then they have something like cutting to say, it's like, well, the other alternative is them just not being in your life at all. So it's like maybe you can be a bit mature and patient and just allow the opportunity to observe them so you can really understand like, well, where are they coming from? Like, I have compassion for the fact that they just went through something very heavy, which is like an ending to long-term behavior and all these like long-term kind of relationships they had that supported them, but that they realized were like actually empty cups. And it was like kind of all for naught, but live and learn. Because right now, thank you so much. It's nice to meet you. Have a good day. Okay. And so then we have the 10 of Swords. So it's like they've taken as much kind of pain and like angry DMs that they can take, and they're just like, there's literally no more space on my body for any more verbal attacks from people. And at this point, it's just like, I'm just going to drop it and walk away from all these situations that didn't serve me. And it's like, you've decided, like, I've really just taken enough abuse, and like, maybe I allowed myself to be in this position where someone could hurt me, and I no longer want to do that. So I'm like walking away from these types of things. And whether I liked it or not, like the universe came in and like did some of the breaking up for me. So yeah, like the 10 reduces to 1. So it's like just having this overwhelm just ends up being like putting you in the position of a new beginning. Wow, okay. Yeah, so then, you've done all this work to create like stability for yourself, and you're in a quite of a nice position now to offer yourself to somebody else. You have like the 9 of Pentacles. So if anybody kind of is checking you out, they're like, wow, they really kind of have their thing together. They're alone, like they're single, even if you're like dating someone but not taking them that seriously, like you're effectively single. And or you have options, and that's like fine, whatever, but like they haven't like combined with their kind of perfect partner yet. Yeah, and so that's a nice position to be in, just being like self kind of fulfilled. And there's also this like need to balance, because if you've been upgrading yourself, you're going to be entering into new energies and kind of matching your energy to that new level. Like, it's sort of like the same feeling of the nervousness of going into something different. It's like last year I decided, like, okay, I'm going to try stand up just because I haven't before, and it's like something a lot of people do or enjoy. So it's like, let me see if I like that too. And it's different than what I'd done before in terms of, sharing or whatever. And just because it's a new energy doesn't mean you have to run from it. Maybe you just have to adapt and go like, okay, now I'm standing in this different kind of vibe, and I'm gonna like take the time to like distribute my feelings and my energy so that I feel balanced, and I'm okay with being at this level of like living this different way where I'm giving more, or more present in people's lives, and instead of being invisible, like being seen, or and just adapting instead of fighting that and just going like, ew, like that's too new, and I don't want to feel different than my cozy kind of sweatpant emotional level that I was used to. It's like, maybe you want to, have the feeling of being in a tuxedo, or a beautiful dress or something like that. That's your new level of consciousness. And you need to like just take a minute to balance that and go like, I don't need to be afraid of this. I just need to like live with this feeling and bring my game up inside to match it, because I do want to be abundant, in myself, and I want to have like a higher level of relationship. It might feel more intense, but it'll be more fulfilling, you know, because when somebody comes into their life, like offering this pentacle, I just want to find that card. Where is he? Anyway, there was like the Knight of Pentacles offering something on his horse. Okay, so I got a lot of cards here, but that fulfills like the 10 of Pentacles then, and you have everything. And it's like, if you, let's say you just had like really kind of like bad relationships before, you were used to like having this certain sensation in your romantic life that was a bit low level, and you might not have been good, but you were comfortable with it, to have like a really high level relationship where you're really giving and standing in your power, and the other person is too. It's like a completely different vibe. And instead of being scared off by that, you just take a moment to go like, okay, calm down. Like, these higher energies, these more exciting energies are something I need to get used to and balance, instead of like just out rejecting them outright. The moment I feel something in my heart, I need to like chop somebody's head off for getting too close to me, or like, you know, you don't want to be this fearful, defensive person when you do actually want to receive something beautiful, and you do actually want to like proceed to somewhere beautiful. You just have to like take the time to allow this person that is like looming large for you to gain more clarity around who they are, where they're going, what their priorities are. Do they match with yours? Because right now the universe has given you like a brand new start. Like, they ended a cycle and they're beginning a brand new cycle, and there's like a victory element to that, where you overcame some difficult situations and you earned this like next kind of video game level of life. And so it's important to celebrate that and go like, you know, that was a challenge, but I was like victorious. There's like this laurel leaf wreath, like the Olympian kind of wreath. And walking through that success, you know, I'm walking into my better life now. It's kind of like, let's say you were, you can compare, you know, how you were living to like a play, and then you get cast in this like much better play, and you're walking from kind of like a lame situation into like something, you know, much grander, much more grand. I don't know if you can say grander. Yeah, so the Chariot. Okay. So I feel like in this case, I feel like the masculine energy is like not going to wake up their past partner. They're sort of saying goodbye in their mind to this old relationship, because they're going to just turn around. Like, they're done like abusing them. Like, he's holding this like cat of nine tails, I guess. He's like, okay, I'm done hurting you, and I'm gonna like go and turn around and like take these oxen like elsewhere, you know? And I'm gonna leave you to heal and like let somebody else come in your life. So again, like the universe is like part, like, because this is a major arcana card, this is actually really happening. And we saw it with the Eight of Cups and with some other cards that like it's real. Like, there's an end to something for sure. There's an end to this kind of suffering. And it's like, okay, yeah, I did that. Like, maybe I misbehaved or I just behaved in relationships, and it wasn't serving me, and lesson learned. And now I'm going to turn around and like go somewhere else with my life. So we have 4 more cards left. Then we have the Son of Wands. Yeah, because you felt like you were being kind of a joker before, and just trying to please too many people, putting on a mask in life. being like inauthentically like I'm cool with it, you know. But it's like we do have feelings, and we aren't always in this energy of like uh, playful abandon and not taking things seriously and like making fun of uh, making fun of family life, making fun of actually like settling down and creating something, because like this feminine figure is holding a baby, and this feels kind of family like. So it's like you don't want to be a joker in this potential union, so you can't be running around like being a player. Like where does it get you? You just kind of end up being this kind of clownish figure. We have the temperance twice, so yeah, it's like really important for you to understand that like by leveling up, it's going to bring about like all kinds of strong feelings in you, and it's confusing at first. It's like, well, this is different. This isn't the me I'm used to. But it's like, do you want to be the me you're used to if you were doing stuff that was inauthentic or not serving you and not respecting yourself? So it's like, okay, I need to just take a moment and get used to these higher energies, get used to like the feeling of love. Like love can feel like a giant wave that's crashing over you because you can't control it, because it's emotional. Like, and emotions are like water. So you have to get comfortable in like navigating this ocean and letting it kind of rock you here and there, and like, you know, like a surfer, like more like have fun with it, instead of just like being angry that every few seconds or so a wave crashes, you know. And we have the Four of Wands. Wow. So it's like definitely a solid relationship built on two people's passions. Like, um, you know, this is like kind of a marriage card. Um, Stability in your passions. So if you can balance yourself, be curious enough to accept this offer and to not be put off by someone's like sharp words, to like have compassion for the fact that the masculine's been through a lot, and they, you know, sure, they tried a bunch of different situations, and you don't have to focus on like, why do you like her or like, why do you like that feminine energy, like why were you in this sort of abusive relationship, and you don't have to go through all that. Like they learned those lessons themselves and they're sore from it, and you know, it's made them defensive, but still they're here, they're curious about you. Allow them to interact with you in a way that's like no pressure, so they can get comfortable and see you, instead of you being like this shadowy large figure in their life. Let the sun rise on this, and like in a nice calm way, so that they can go like, okay, this is who you are, you're the Empress. Wow, we get the Empress twice and the Emperor twice, so it's like, this is like really real. So what we have is like a divine couple in each other's presence in some way, whether it's in person or online, like you've met, and the masculine coming forward with what seems like a small offer in a really awkward, defensive manner. Nonetheless, they know who you are, because they're done playing the clown, the player, and they're ready to move on. That's like really beautiful. So it is a little bit of homework for you to just have the patience and faith that like whatever they've been through, like they have decided to leave, or the universe has said like, you're leaving. I don't care. You know, it's over. Wow. Yeah. So it just requires you to have your priorities intact and like expressing them and letting people know like literally like, don't do that, because like I have my priorities. Like I can't take 1,000,001 mini relationships where I end up breaking your heart and you're mad at me. Like I can't keep doing that. I have something beautiful inside of me that I now realize is like my love and what I can offer someone, and that I've been intuitively seeing like this is part of my purpose in life, and I know who to choose. Like I see who my empress is because we have the empress twice and the emperor twice. It's like quite serious, you know. So I guess like congratulations on all that self-realization. Just don't be afraid of, because we had temperance twice also. Don't be afraid of just taking a moment and going like, okay, yeah, these new emotions, this new level of being that feels stronger than what I was doing before. Yeah, if it feels overwhelming, it just means you just need to take some relaxing breaths and go like, I do want to up level, and it will have a different feeling. Like any type of experience that you decide to have in life has its own kind of radio station, like its own frequency, its own vibration. And some vibrations feel like low and some feel high. And you might not be used to be like living in a high vibrational lifestyle, but you need to go like, if you want it, like you need to go like, I want to be in this high vibration, so I need to acclimate to it, and that requires me to like calm down and just allow this energy to be in me, and that's the new normal. And then it won't be scary for you to like be the emperor who's like, okay, I'm comfortable sitting with someone who's equally strong, equally focused, who has their priorities, and we're like a perfect match for each other. That's like really cool. I like these devoted relationship kind of vibes. It's like quite nice. So I hope you guys have a good day, and thanks for tuning in, and I'll talk to you soon. Bye.